weekly message or anything like that, or overall theme. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I feel like I see a lot in the work I do also, which is grief over the life that we thought we lost. So I've personally experienced this, in different phases of our lives. We can really romanticize the way things were. And we can even depict people and situations in ways that necessarily wasn't in the truth because it's what we wanted to see, right? Or we were too young to even understand the truth of what was really happening around us, so we romanticize it. We only see the parts or aspects of the situation that we were exposed to at the time. And, a lot of people get hung up on the way things used to be, the life that they used to have, wishing they could go back in time and preserve this thing that used to be that now no longer is, right? And we resist so completely the current moment by obsessing over what we think we've lost. And this is where we really have to stop clinging onto the idea of the life you used to have and embrace the life you have now. Because every living thing grows from every dying thing. Every living thing grows from every dying thing. Everything that we think we've lost, everything that is, entered into that part of the life cycle where it's no longer in that energetic form, where it ceases to exist the way that it was before. New life is meant to grow up and out from that space. But if we're so focused on grieving the dead stuff that is no longer for us, and I'm not talking about people here, I'm talking about energy, right? I'm talking about old experiences and stuff like that. Grief comes in many layers, and especially when it comes to people we're connected to, we're going to feel that. And we're meant to experience grief. We're not meant to rush through the grief. And I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying that we know the difference between allowing ourselves the natural process of grief versus the clinging, versus the gripping, versus the obsessive need to romanticize this thing and only focus on those things and wish that that was the current state of being, as opposed to being able to be present in the current moment and live from within that space, right? So this is a tough one, and sometimes this is one of those topics that can even sting a little bit and make people a little bit frustrated. And that's not a bad thing. Trigger like that, this is when we're talking about triggers are never meant to be wasted. Never waste a good trigger. This is the stuff that if it stings a little bit, they're like, ooh, okay, there's something in here for me then, right? There's something that I've been holding on to. There's something I've been clinging on to. And perhaps I can look at it now. Maybe I can just see it with some different eyes. Maybe I can experience that with a new lens that I'm allowing this experience to pass through, so that my knowledge of it is more full, right? And we're not just seeing these aspects of it that we want to see. We have the availability to come into more of an observant standpoint and see it in its truth, and to recognize that this thing no longer exists for me. And yes, I'm allowed to grieve. Yes, I'm allowed to feel sad. Yes, I'm allowed to see the beauty of the situation, right? The romanticizing isn't all bad. The romanticizing is only bad when we refuse to let go of that. When we allow that romanticizing of the narrative to seduce us into hyper-focusing on it and not being content with our current moment. That's when it's no longer serving us, right? So I have to then recognize, what is it about this thing that is not enabling me to be present right now, to focus my energy and feed the things that are existing within the current moment, where I'm actually nurturing the new life that is seeking to grow up from the dead, right? Am I watering this plant? Am I feeding it? Am I tending to it? Or am I so focused on trying to revive this old dead garden that's no longer going to come up, that's no longer bearing fruit? that I can't focus on this new life that's springing up from within that place, and so it stays limited, or it dies because I didn't give it the energy that it needs to thrive. And all life grows up from the dead things, but it's not just new life. It's the life that is meant to facilitate our highest and greatest good in that moment. This thing is gone because it's no longer serving me. This thing is gone because that is what I needed at that moment to assist in my evolution and expansion. And now I'm in a new place energetically. I'm not the person I was 5 seconds ago, much less who I was 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 30 years ago. So how can I potentially ever expect my environment, my energetic environment, to match the energy of where I was back in those times? It's not going to assist me. It's not going to facilitate the growth and expansion necessary for me to evolve. And if I'm saying that I want evolution, I want growth, I want to experience the highest potential available to me, then I have to learn to embrace what happens right now. Everything that's in my experience right now. I have to learn to really be engaged and present within that space so that I can be conscious about how I'm interacting with the energy around me and co-create more of what I want to experience. Most of the time, we're hung up on the need for happiness, to feel happy, to feel joy. And so we're pursuing these things as if they were that dangling carrot hanging from the stick, you know. I'm always in pursuit of the happiness. I'm always in pursuit of the feeling I had at that time. And instead of co-creating that, more of that energy into our experience, creating availability, opening up space for transformation to occur that would draw me towards that happiness and create more opportunity for joy and beauty and all of those things to grow up from that old dead space, I'm gripping onto this old thing. I'm gripping onto the shadow of it because it's no longer here. And my memory isn't trustworthy because my memory only gives me the information available to me that I've locked away about it, right? And that doesn't mean it's true. That just means it's what I remember. And most of the time, what I'm remembering and what I'm seeking is the feeling, not necessarily the experience itself, right? I'm looking for the feeling that that experience initiated within me. So remembering that I'm never going to feel that feeling again. I'm not going to generate more opportunity for those feelings to flow through me if I'm clinging and gripping onto the thing that's no longer present. It's a shadow. It's a concept. I'm not going to experience it if I'm so hyper-focused on gripping onto this thing that's not even there anymore. And that is where it takes work for me to engage in my own being and to be present in my current moment, even if I'm not feeling that feeling yet. And recognizing that happiness isn't going to be a constant state of being. Happiness, joy, because no energy, no feeling is a constant state of being. The closest thing we can get to generating a more consistent feeling of joy and peace and all of those things is being in gratitude. Gratitude is how I connect to creating space for more of those feelings and feeling those feelings. Gratitude for the things that I've experienced in my life and to be in those moments that make me feel the beauty of my life, that's amazing. I'm not clinging to the old thing. I'm not gripping onto it and refusing to let go and not focusing my attention on the current moment where it's meant to be. I am simply allowing the gratitude of what I've already experienced lift me up, shift me into a higher vibration, put me in that energetic space so that I can create more of that stuff. So like if I'm in gratitude one morning and I'm laying in bed, and I've heard a lot of people say this, and different writers, authors, and people talk about doing stuff like this where they won't even get out of bed. And I think it was Wayne Dyer actually who I read did this, but he wouldn't even get out of bed in the morning until he had sat there in gratitude to the point that it brought tears, to the point where the energy was moving so intensely within his body that it generated tears, that it brought the water, the healing water, out of his body. And once he felt that depth of gratitude, he would get out of bed and go on with his day. So he allowed that gratitude for the experiences that he had had in his life to lift him up, to help shift him into a vibration so that when he put his feet on the floor in the morning, the first thing he walked into his day with energetically was that feeling of gratitude and just awe of his life experience and the beauty of the things that he has been able to go through in his life, right? These things are a gift. When we have beauty connected to certain moments, when we have memories that make us feel so happy, so joyful, so amazing, use that energy to lift you up, not to keep you suppressed and limited. It's not here to keep you stuck. It's here to push you forward, to lift you up, to give you wings, to show you the potential of the energy that we can experience in this time and space. And when we know what we want, then we can focus our energy right now in this moment on generating more of it, co-creating more of that energy into the current moment. And the way that I do that is by feeding the energies I want to experience more of all the time, with my thoughts, with my words, with my actions. I got to reprogram the old mental things, those old patterns, circular, cyclical patterns that keep me stuck in the stuff that's no longer serving me. I can use anything to lift me up or to keep me stuck, and it's a choice. It is a choice. And so we have to choose. Do I want this beautiful, amazing memory to be something that lifts me up and motivates me to experience more of those things in the current moment? Or do I want to stay stuck in the old stuff that's dead and it's no longer serving me, and totally negate, totally be blind to all of the beauty that I could access within every potential moment? So we have to remember, this is our choice. This is something I get to do. I'm always choosing whether I realize it or not. Frank Zappa, I like his quote, it was 45 years ago, there's always seeds of truth interwoven into so many things for so many years, and it's once we can see it that our mind grips onto it and we have that integration moment. But he said, none of us have the promise of tomorrow. God forbid this is my last day on this beautiful earth. It won't be spent listening to some news person telling me how rotten we are, how rotten life is. Heck no. I'm going out and I'm seeing how beautiful life is. As humans, our time on this planet is very limited. Turn off, tune out, and turn on your life. Peace. And he's talking about TV here. But we can use that understanding, that truth, that knowledge of the choices that we have to either pay attention to the things that bring us pain. If the thing that was so beautiful is initiating pain within us, then we are twisting that thing and turning it into something it's not meant to be, right? I'm now utilizing this thing as not something that initiates beauty in life. I'm using this thing to create pain and deeper seated grief within my own being. And I get to choose. My life is short. Why am I wasting my time focusing on the stuff that isn't going to generate new life? Or that new life is trying to spring up, it's trying to come forward, but I'm so hyper-focused on this old thing that I can't even see the new life to sustain it, to feed it, to nurture it, to open up the new space for the new experience that will bear fruit, real fruit right now, that I can utilize, that I can experience, that will enrich I can't talk. What the hell? Enrich my experience. So, you know, this is not one of those things that you just decide like, oh, I'm done with that. That thing that I've been hyper focused on that's no longer, here for me, and I've twisted it into this thing that is suppressing me as opposed to uplifting me. I'm done. It can happen. It can be just that instant momentary, like, I'm done with this and I'm moving into a different phase, but don't have that expectation of it. Like, if it's something you have to come up again and again and again against, that's normal because we've embedded a pattern of behavior in our mind. We have this program running. So if it takes some time to reprogram it and to continually come up against that thing and continually shift your energy away from the attachment that you had to it, because that's essentially what it is, right? I'm attached to it. Why am I attached to it? I'm attached to things because I have a need to control my environment, right? And that attachment is really just not serving me at all. That attachment is trying to force things to look a certain way. There's a total difference between connection and attachment. Connection to something, to have experienced it, to honor it, that's something totally different than to attach to it, right? At that point, I'm carrying the weight of all this stuff on my back that's not even alive anymore. I'm just carrying this dead stuff around because I wish it was. I'm attached to the story. I'm attached to the components. I'm attached to the people involved that are no longer with me, as in like not on the planet, or in this energetic form. I just mean like maybe they've moved on and they're in a different situation. And I'm attached to it because I've romanticized it, because I've created this story in my head and in my mind that's the only way I'm going to be happy. That's the only way I'm going to ever experience that feeling again. Let me tell you something. That person would not be gone from your experience if that was the only way you were going to be happy. Life isn't here to push you down and kick you when you're already on the ground. The universe is created to support and uplift you all the time. If that person is no longer in your experience, it's because it wasn't in alignment with your highest and greatest good. They were not in alignment with the vibration that you're currently emitting. It's just that simple. And I know that that's not always what we want to hear, because we'll resist. No, that was the one. That was the person. That's the only way I'm going to be comfortable or happy in my life, So if I have that person, and then we romanticize all the good things they did, but we don't look at the things that caused us pain or trauma or heartache. And this is where we have to learn to look at truth. What is the truth of this experience or this relationship or this situation? The truth is, I hurt a lot. I had a few moments of happy, and I romanticized the happy because I wanted more of it. Because something inside of me was starving for that energy, that kind of attention, that kind of feeling. So I recognize the truth that something inside of me is starving for that energy. Okay, instead of pursuing this thing that is no longer serving me, that it's gone for me, how do I now invest that energy into something that's going to bring fruit, that's going to bear fruit right now in this moment? How do I shift that energy into co-creating more of the thing that I'm starving for, that I feel that deep hole within my being? How do I create more space for that? How do I come up against the stuff that's limiting me from vibrating at the space that draws into my experience what I really, really do want? How do I peel away all the layers of the stuff that attracts, when I'm vibrating at a level that isn't what I want, and I'm drawing into the people into my experience that are of that and not of my truth? How do I get rid of that stuff so that I'm drawing in people who are really, truly attracted to the beauty of who and what I am, that really see me? You know, that's how we shift our energy into the new. That's how we shift our attention into co-creating more of the energy that we want to experience. And then having immense value for who and what I am. I am worthy of not just being semi-loved or semi-appreciated or feeling semi-worthy. I am worthy of the whole thing. I am worthy of a partnership that I can't even imagine. I am worthy of relationships with my friends and family that I can't even imagine, where they do see me on such a level that I would feel so incredible and amazing and loved and appreciated, right? But it starts in here. That stuff starts in here, not out here. And that's where surrender comes in. And the surrender is the hard part. Surrendering to the now, surrendering to the natural flow of life, surrendering to the higher aspects of my being that are always drawing into my experience the situations that are meant for my highest and greatest good, and being willing to surrender to the belief that this life experience is for my highest and greatest good. It's not here to kick me when I'm down. It's not here to suppress me or keep me small or to feel grief for my entire life. And then I tap into those feelings of gratitude all the time. And the part of the manifestation that most people mess up or forget, and I say mess up like, you know, because we don't know, or not taught, right? A lot of people want to keep manifestation like some kind of secret club that, oh, I'll let you know how if you give me millions of dollars or whatever, you know, $60. It's like, okay, here, you know, manifestation is fairly easy, you know, the truth of how it works. But the most important component, I feel like, is the feeling associated with it. When I'm manifesting, working to feed the energy, because really manifestation is just feeding the energy that I want to experience more of. Very simply, it's the same thing, right? When I'm doing that, and I'm, you know, doing the visualization technique, because a lot of people are like, oh, there's visualization. Yes, you can do that. That's amazing. We can do that as long as we leave it open-ended, right? But when I'm visualizing it, the most important thing, the way that we attract the energy of what we want to experience more of, is by feeling the energy in our own heart, in our own body so immensely. Like Wayne Dyer, he allowed it to move him to tears because he felt the beauty of it so intensely within his own being. He became the magnet for that thing, right? He was drawing more, generating more availability for that energy to find him because he was radiating so completely of that energy that he wanted to experience more of, because he was in such deep gratitude for the beauty, and he was being the magnet for that thing. He was pulling more of it in because he was just so fully, completely immersed in that feeling. So like, use that stuff to lift you up. Be so in the feeling of the beauty of what you want to generate without the attachment to the components involved. It doesn't have to look just like this. This isn't the only way I can be happy. This can manifest in a totally new life form for me. And I'm open to that. And I'm focused on the feeling of what I felt back then so immensely. Right now in this moment, I'm letting that be what the thing that gives me the energetic wings to lift me up and give me more availability to experience that thing. So when we talk about being in gratitude, the gratitude is the manifestation. That is the manifestation. I am putting myself back in that moment. I'm experiencing visually the components that were involved, not because I'm attached to them, but because it immerses me in the experience. Remembering the sounds, the sights, the tastes, the feelings. And then I allow the emotion to live in my heart. I invited in that beautiful, amazing happiness, that joy that was so immense. I allow that to totally fill me up energetically. I allow it to grow in my heart space. I open my heart, allow it to grow, to radiate out from my being, and you'll feel the energetic shift. when you're in that state of gratitude, something shifts in your energy field. You feel it. And then usually that's when you may feel the tears, or you feel a need to release something. And maybe that's something that you're releasing is the attachment. Maybe that's something you're releasing was the, idea that it had to look a certain way. And you're opening up to the new space. So I know that this stuff can sting, and I know it's not always what we want to hear, but I promise you that if you give this a shot and you give yourself the opportunity to let go of the old stuff and surrender to what is, and you allow those old things to lift you up and stop bearing the weight of them on your physical being, that it will change the quality of your life. It will. And, my desire for you guys is always, always, always to have more joy, more beauty, more levity, to co-create the experience you want more of. And this is part of stepping into our power too. This is part of stepping into our power, is taking responsibility to honor the truth of what is and to make conscious choices from that knowledge, from the truth, from the way that I also access that truth within my being. Okay? So just thinking about today as we're coming into our restorative postures, yay, we get to rest. What are some of the situations, the old experiences, the old relationships, the old ideals of how I thought things had to look to make me happy or to experience more of what I want, right? Maybe it's not happiness, maybe it's love, maybe it's, abundance. It could be anything. So what are my ideals about the old stuff? What am I hanging on to and carrying around with me that's not got life for me anymore within it? Where I could take that and allow it to be the manure, the new soil, the enriching energy to grow something new. And what do I want? I don't want this old thing. I want more of the feeling, right? And so then I focus on the feeling that I want to experience more of. I remember I step into the ability to be in deep, deep, deep gratitude for my opportunities to already have experienced those energies in my life. And I open my heart to more of that in whatever form it chooses to manifest into my experience. I'm not attached to a specific way that it has to show up. I'm giving it room to manifest to its highest level that it possibly can. Okay? So whatever that looks like for you today, gently thinking about some of those things where potentially I'm attached to something that isn't serving me. Can I let go of that today? If I can't let go of it today, can I just start slowly shifting the energy of that space and opening up room for transformation to occur? There's things like I can do it slow. I don't have to do it all at once. So just being kind and gentle with yourself, nurturing that part of your being to be able to invest in something new, right? So meet yourself with that love and compassion on your mat today. Be really kind to yourself. We're not feeling guilty or stupid for hanging on to stuff that's not serving us anymore, or whatever the stories are that we tell ourselves. We are being kind, giving ourselves grace, remembering our humanity, recognizing that we're not always taught how to do this stuff and that it's okay. And it's just about learning how to have a new experience, right? So let's come up on our knees. We're going to come into our first child pose posture. So drawing our props in towards the body, elevate the top if you want to. You know now how you like to come into this posture. So make sure you've got the stuff. Dropping the hands on the floor in front of the knees. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Feel that spine come nice and long and straight. And then walk the hands out towards the top of your props and gently releasing one cheek down. And just sink into your props and find your breath, feeling the pressure of the props on the body, how that pressure increases with your inhalation as the belly releases, expands. Not necessarily creating the deepest breath possible, just a natural breath of equal inhalation to exhalation. Consciously relaxing all of those parts of the body where we're potentially holding on to tension. Just gently scanning the body, consciously releasing the muscle tissue, releasing those energies that are creating that tension in the body. Eyes are closed, sinking deeper inside of ourselves on every inhalation. It's okay to miss the stuff that we used to experience. It's a human thing. We just don't want to allow the grief to become so big that we can't move past it, that we stay stuck. So we learn to nurture ourselves, give ourselves grace, meeting ourselves with love and compassion, accepting and allowing. And then investing our energy in more of the energy that we want to experience, more of the feeling that we want to have. Instead of closing ourselves off from the world, we open the heart to receive more. Often what we crave is to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, to give and receive without judgment, to be in relationships and experiences that have sustenance for us and strengthen us. And we don't look for those things in the shadows of what was. We seek those things right now in this current moment where the reality of everything I'm experiencing is right now. Connecting to the energy of what I want opens my heart. Attachment closes me off, draws my energy. Deep breath. Just feeling the energy of everything around you. Always there, lifting you up, supporting you, celebrating you, honoring you, remembering that the universal energy sees you. It sees you. And it is purely responding to the vibration that you're emitting. Because you are expressing to the universe what you want through the vibration you emit. So if you're vibrating from a place that you don't want to experience more of, then we need to shift the vibration, shift the energetic investment. Come into the body just enough to gently move the limbs. Inhaling, pressing into the palms, drawing that body away from your props. And you can actually keep them here where they are because we're going to come into a heart opener now. And you can take your other pillows or props that you might need to the side of the body so that we can open up those butterfly legs. So pressing the glutes up against your bolsters, releasing the back down, plant the soles of the feet into the earth. Knees are pointed into the sky. Inhale deeply. And then exhale, release the knees gently to the side, pressing the soles of the feet together. Open up through those hips. You can take the hands, gently rest them on the belly or the heart, or allow the arms to be at the side of the body. If that doesn't feel comfortable to have those hips open like that in that butterfly posture, you can come long through the legs. Totally straight legs. Use as many props as you need to under those knees to support and lift them up to where you're not feeling that tension or pressure, just totally supported and relaxed. And just breathing into the space. You are deserving of the new. You are deserving of the greatest potential possible for all of the things that you want to experience more of. And the more we do the work of our own spirit, the more we peel away the layers, the more we realize that everything we're seeking is already inside of us. It's always been there, always. Just like Glinda the Good Witch said, you've always had the power, my dear. It's always been inside of you, always there waiting for you to turn away from the things that are no longer serving you and look at the energy of the beauty that exists within inside of you, that is ready to be seen, that is ready to flourish, that is ready to be given those wings. That power that exists within your own being to co-create more of the energy that you want to experience, to see it, that exists within you. Always there, always ready, always waiting. Waiting for our attention. Energy flows where our attention goes. So where's my attention? slowly and gently drawing our awareness back into our own being, focusing on the breath. Take the hands to the outside of the thighs. Gently press the legs back together, allowing the soles of the feet to find the earth. We can take one knee into the chest, wrap our hands around it, inhale, draw ourselves upright into a seated posture. We're going to come down onto the belly now. So if you want to leave these here, you can. If you want a little elevation through your legs. But we're going to come down onto the belly. Small pillow at the top. Make sure you're coming into these postures nice and slow. Resting one cheek into your pillow. In whatever direction is your gaze, you're going to draw that knee up over that prop. And then just gently resting your body into the earth. If you don't want to put your leg elevated up on a prop, you can just rest it into the earth. You can even put a rolled up blanket under your ankle of your elongated leg. Just listen to yourself and find that posture that feels the most comfortable, the most supportive. We're nurturing ourselves in these postures today as we let go of the stuff that's not serving us. Kind, gentle, compassionate, loving, not accusing ourselves or telling stories about why we do the things we do, just love and compassion. Denial is our resistance to the truth of what is. Denial is the need to hold on to some fabricated or twisted version of the truth and hold that within our being. We hold on to the denial because we don't want our illusions destroyed. And denial can be a tool that we use sometimes to help us ease into a new energetic space, right? But it's when we grip onto the denial, when we don't allow for a new story to be told, that it can be damaging. It's when we don't want to face the truth. We don't want to see what's real because it elicits pain within us. It forces us to fully experience the grief. To feel the weight of the grief. But just like everything, the grief passes with time, with compassion, with love, with grace. Better to feel the full weight of the grief than to stay stuck in denial. To constantly be trying to revive the old dead things. have to be willing to look at every situation and its truth, the good, the bad, the ugly, every single bit of it, not denying the truth of its most complete representation. That's the only way we can make conscious choice and take conscious action, is if we sink into the truth. We allow for all of the aspects. Coming back into the breath and just feeling that earth underneath the body, totally supportive, cradling all of the weight of your being. We're going to take this posture to the other side, so gently and slowly draw the leg back into the body. Inhale and rise up on the forearms, gently resting the opposite cheek onto the pillow and drawing up the opposite knee. Every day is precious. Every moment is a gift. Time is the only finite resource we have. So we have to stop spending our time focused on the things that no longer exist and shift our attention to what's in front of us right now. Those people, situations, experiences that are meant to lift you up, to offer you the highest availability to shift into everything you want to experience. You have all of the resources you need to begin to shift into that new energetic space. And remembering that you don't need the things outside of yourself to make you feel fulfilled. All of those things are accents. They're highlights. But the truest beauty, the truest joy, the truest light, it's all found within your own being. It's all inside of you. The entire universe is inside of you. How can you nurture your current life experience? What are the places that are seeking your attention? That open up space for transformation that draws you towards everything you've been seeking. Come back to the body, come back to the breath, come back to the physical sensations of this time and space. Gently draw your leg down into the body. Come up on the forearms and press yourself up. You can keep a pillow here at the top of your mat. And then we're going to move a bolster or some pillows or rolled up blanket like I have down here to the bottom of your mat. And this is where we're going to rest the top of our ankles. So this time we're going to come down onto the belly. Gently rest the ankles over the top of that thing and draw yourself back down and take whatever cheek to your pillow feels the most natural and comfortable. If you really want those legs elevated, you can put a couple pillows down there. So just whatever elevation you want, put enough props down there underneath those ankles to really support that place. And breathe into the earth as your belly is lying into the mat on the floor. Feel the deep vibration, that resonance of the earth energy as it shakes the body like a heartbeat, pulsing throughout every part of your being. Shaking loose all of those energies that you're ready to surrender today, that you're ready to let go of. All of those things that you've been carrying around that you no longer want to carry, that you recognize is no longer bearing fruit. Letting go of those things, allowing the Mother Earth to shake loose all of those energies so that they can fall into the earth from the heart, from the chest, from the legs, from the head, from the arms. Giving her the opportunity to transmute, to shift those energies into more life-affirming energies. We have to stop looking at our life as a highlight reel of our greatest successes versus our greatest failures, our happiest moments versus our saddest moments. We have to stop looking at our life that way. We just look at our life as an experience that we're having all the time. I know the energies that I don't want by experiencing them, those things rising up and giving me the availability to feel into them. I know the energies I do want to experience more of because I felt the way they lifted me up. It's all an experience. I'm just here to experience the energy of every single thing that exists. And then I get to choose what I want to experience more of. So asking ourselves on our mat today, where is my attention? Am I feeding the energy I want to experience more of? Or am I trying to revive the things that are no longer full of life? How do we know what to let go of? We let go of something when it feels heavy. When it feels heavy. If the memory of the joy of that thing makes me feel sadness and grief as opposed to gratitude, it's too heavy. Honoring the beauty of the experiences of our lives without the attachment, just allowing and accepting, and allowing that gratitude to give us the wings that we need, lifting us and supporting us. Slowly and gently, whenever you're ready, rolling over onto your back for your final Shavasana. You can keep that bolster down at the bottom if you want to elevate the ankles, or you can slide it upward underneath the knees. Just taking whatever posture of that final corpse pose, Shavasana pose, that gives you the most comfort and ability to relax fully and completely, to rest and restore. Corpse pose. Coming into my breath. My breath is proof of this moment. This is the time that exists. I'm breathing into this moment. parts of my life experience can I breathe new life into that space? The excitement of the new. Unafraid of what may come, but excited by the possibilities of everything that this moment has to offer me. In the United States, when somebody that we love transition out of this life, out of this embodiment, this physical embodiment, when they pass away, when they die, we grieve their loss. We grieve on such an intense level because we have not normalized death. There are so many other countries where when the people they love pass away, they honor the life. They honor the life by preparing the body. They rub it with oils. They place beautiful flowers all around them. They honor the life. They celebrate all of the things that they got to experience with that individual, all of the beautiful memories that they created with that person, all of the moments that they shared together. They celebrate. They lift them up. And in doing so, it relieves some of the grief. It relieves some of the heartache because they're focusing their attention not on the loss, but the celebration of life. And it's the same thing for us in all of our experiences and all of the things that we want to hold on to. Instead of holding on to those things in grief and depth of pain, all the way into the core of our being, shaking the very foundation of who we are sometimes, we celebrate the life that existed within that space. We honor the beauty that we were able to experience through that situation, through that moment in time, through those relationships. We honor the beauty. We celebrate the beauty. We don't suppress the grief, but we allow all of those things to coexist. The grief, the beauty, the celebration, the gratitude. And then to honor the life of that thing, we live more fully in the present moment. We're more engaged. We're more present. We're in deeper gratitude for every moment we get to spend doing this thing, living this life, honoring the life of what once was, by fully expressing myself right now in this moment. Feel the beat of your own heart, the vibration of your own being, and open up that heart to receive everything that this current moment has to offer you. Feel the vibration of your own being radiating outward, and finding your breath. Gently taking some movement in the body now, beginning to wake up the physical body, wiggling the fingers and toes, wrapping the hands around the wrists or the feet around the ankles. Taking any stretches, cat stretches, or reaching the arms over the head, pointing the toes in the opposite direction. Draw the knees into the chest, rocking side to side or back and forth, pressing any props out of the way, and rolling upward into a comfortable seated posture or rolling over onto the right side in the fetal position. Excuse me. We cannot control our feelings, but we can control our point of attention. We can control the perception that we choose to view our life experience from. We can control the energy that we choose to feed more of. Pressing into the palm of the left hand, drawing ourselves upright into a comfortable seated position. We are not helpless victims to our past or the future that we feel like is not presenting more of what we want. We are co-creators. We are powerful beings with all of the power and energetic availability to create more of the energy we want to experience. Always remembering that, always remembering the choices available to us within that space, power and the strength of your own being. Drawing those palms into the chest center to finish our practice today with 3 long Sat Nams. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely, releasing the chin to the chest. Sat Nam, Namaste. The divine light and the beauty within me honors the divine light and the beauty within each and every one of you. Your ability to choose, your ability to co-create the life that you want to experience more of. Your power is not in the past, your power is right now.